Lil Baby. I know Lil Baby is having a bad week right now. It's been less than 24 hours since we talked about one of his producers getting killed by his own son. And now here we are back again today to talk about some more Lil Baby / 4PF news. And like I said, I'm not gonna lie, I know Lil Baby is having a bad week. That's because this week alone, two of his homies have been in trouble and put on blast for violence against kids. So the first thing that we seen this week was one of his 4PF artists, Dirty Tay, getting sentenced to 17 years in prison for, I'm gonna quote unquote this, accidentally shooting a toddler in the head. Now I don't give a damn if you did it on accident, fam. If you pop a toddler, your ass need to be put underneath the jail. 17 years is crazy for shooting a kid. I know people ain't did nothing but whip a little bit of work up on the kitchen stove, got more than 17 years. And then we got Lil Baby hopping online making posts talking about free my dog Dirty Tay. Now look, I get it. When a rapper homie go to jail, they want to post him, they want to give him the clout, they want to say free my homie, but not everything deserves a free you hashtag. So of course people had to get on his neck about that. Like, we get it, that's your homie, that's your artist, that's your buddy, but this man shot a 3-year-old, bruh. We can't be out here supporting people shooting babies. I don't give two holy fucks. Now I know they saying that Dirty Tay did it on accident. He wasn't aiming for the kid, he was aiming for the kid's dad. But don't none of that matter once you did the crime and it ended the way it did. We not talking about a hit and run. We not talking about a little Dylan. We not talking about a little stealing. This man shot a kid in the head, bruh. Ain't no free Dirty Tay. Anyway, so Dirty Tay has released 2 albums, Way Bigger on the Low and 2 Turned Up, on Lil Baby's 4PF label. And these songs did pretty good for him. He had a pretty promising career ahead of him. But he fucked all that up when he decided he was gonna commit this crime. So the shooting that we talking about took place back on August 3rd, 2022, and it involved a man and his 3-year-old son being shot at while leaving the Off the Hook barbershop in Southwest Atlanta. According to the police, the father and son were driving down Peter Street when the kid did a U-turn and began to follow him. The car pulled up alongside the passenger side at an intersection and multiple shots was let off, resulting in the child being struck in the head. Now the dad of the kid said that about 5 shots were fired before the suspect, Dirty Tay, fled the scene of the crime. There was 3 9mm shell casings found at the scene, and the child was rushed to the hospital and was stabilized hours after the shooting.
Are searching for the gunman who shot a 2-year-old boy. Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us tonight for Fox 5 News Edge at 11. I'm Tom Haynes. Authorities say that child is fighting for his life in the hospital tonight. News Head reporter Christopher King joins us live now as investigators try to unravel exactly what happened.
Tom, police say right now that little boy is in very serious condition. They say a shooter pulled up alongside the car he was riding in and opened fire. Police combed the scene looking for clues that could bring them closer to finding a shooter. It all began around 4 Wednesday afternoon. Police say a 2-year-old and his father just left a barbershop in the 200 block of Peter Street. Police tell Fox 5 a blue Kia Optima tailed them to the corner of Peters and Chapel. The boy's father rushed him to Fire Station 14 on Lee Street. The Atlanta Fire Department says firefighters treated the boy until an ambulance arrived. Deputy Chief Charles Hampton says it isn't clear if the victims knew the shooter, but he says the shooter targeted the victim's car. Police say no one else was injured in this shooting. Now, Councilman Jason Dozier represents the area where that little boy was shot. He sent out a tweet earlier. He says he's deeply saddened by the shooting, and he says his thoughts are with the child and his family.
Can you say anything about what led to the shooting? What sparked it?
Yeah. And as you can, I mean, it's still a very active scene. So we still have to piece together. We need to go back to the barbershop to figure out exactly if there's anything that happened inside the barbershop. So again, very fluid. We have the dad. We're asking questions regarding what happened, but it appears to be a targeted incident. Does not appear to be random at all. But again, it's still very early on in our investigation. We're still trying to ascertain a lot of information at this time.
Is it safe to say the victims knew the shooter?
I can't say that. What I can say is that it appears to be a targeted incident. I'm not sure if they know one another, but it appears that the shooters, in fact, wanted to shoot the occupants in that vehicle.
I didn't hear what you said. Where was the child struck?
I didn't say.
Now, off the rip when this happened, Dirty Tay denied his involvement in the shooting in a post on his Instagram stories where he said, "I'm innocent. The news is not always right. Don't bash me because of allegations." Now, keep in mind, this is back when this first happened back in 2022. Now, he was booked into the Fulton County Jail on almost a dozen counts. The charges included criminal attempt to commit murder, aggravated assault, first-degree cruelty to children, and 3 counts of committing offenses listed in Georgia's Street Gang Terrorism and Prevention Act with the intent to gain membership or increase its status in a criminal street gang. That's what he was charged with, but he wasn't arrested until police pulled him over in a traffic stop with his girlfriend, and they found a gun in a car that the police say belonged to Dirty Tay, and it was all caught on body cam footage.
Yeah, he's got his phone and a big stack of cash in his pocket.
We have no weapons on
in his back pocket.
Can you get that to my girlfriend, please? As soon as we get a chance, all right? I'll get the money out of your pocket in a second. You got no weapons on you, right?
Nah.
What's your ID?
Chef, I love you, bro. Chef. Hey, follow this officer right here.
Come on, come on.
I love you for real, bro. Can I get my girlfriend a kiss out, please?
You'll get it in a second. Come on, buddy. You get it in a second.
Please.
You'll get it in a second, my brother. You get it in a second.
Now, you just know somebody called Crime Stoppers on his ass because the shooting happened on the 3rd and he was arrested on the 19th. They arrested this man fast as hell. Now, my boy over at the Family TV, he did a whole breakdown on this where he went over what led to this shooting happening and all that. I highly recommend y'all go check that video out if y'all want to really get that backstory. I'm not going to cover it here because obviously he already did a breakdown. But the original charge that they hit Dirty Tay with was a capital felony, which would have made him eligible for the death penalty if he was convicted of the top count. Now, after he was arrested, this was reduced to a lesser felony and he copped a plea that basically said that he was gonna serve 17 years behind bars. Now, how did Dirty Tay get this deal after shooting a toddler in the head that said he would only have to serve 17 years? Well, it's simple. He took a proffer agreement. And just to recap for y'all what a proffer agreement is, it's a written contract between a federal prosecutor and a defendant. In this case, that would have been Dirty Tay, or a person under criminal investigation where the defendant agrees to provide the prosecutor with useful information, meaning that Dirty Tay got this 17-year plea deal by cooperating with authorities. And he cooperated in a case all the way back from 2015. It was a case of aggravated assault and participation in street gang activity and possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony. Now, the paperwork said in that case, Dirty Tay, along with his co-defendant, pulled guns on a young man as he was walking to school alongside 2 other people. The 2 witnesses that were there later told the police that Dirty Tay and his co-defendant Sanders were members of the Bloods and admitted that they themselves were both members of the Crips. Now, interestingly enough, his co-defendant in that case, Cardarius Sanders, pled guilty in 2023 to participation in criminal street gang activity. And this stemmed from his association with Lil Baby's 4PF crew. Now, it was this case that Dirty Tay actually cooperated with the police on, gave them a bunch of information, and that's how he got his sentence reduced to 17 years in this case. Now, Lil Baby has infamously been repping 4PF basically his whole career, but over the last 2-3 years, we've really seen him slow down on representing that publicly. He done stopped shouting it out in music. He done stopped putting it on his albums. He basically started to disassociate. And after reading these court documents, it kind of made sense. Why? Because you got this one guy, his co-defendant, pleaded guilty to participating in a criminal street gang known as 4PF. Dirty Tay admitted that he was part of a criminal street gang known as 4PF. So you got all of these people being prosecuted for being part of a criminal street gang known as 4PF. In other words, it looked to me like the prosecutors in Atlanta are slowly building cases, getting a bunch of people to cop pleas and say that 4PF is a criminal street gang, which could indicate a RICO coming in the future, to be real with y'all. But look, fam, this isn't all that's happened in Lil Baby circle this week. On top of his producer getting shot by his son, which we covered 2 videos ago, on top of Dirty Tay being sentenced to 17 years for shooting a toddler in the head, another 4PF member known as 4PF Day Day was just arrested for beating a 6-year-old to death. Bro, I can't overstate how terrible this whole thing is looking for Lil Baby. How come everybody in Lil Baby's crew is out here doing this to kids, bro? This shit don't sit right with my soul.
Right now at 11, a man is now behind bars accused in the death of a 6-year-old little boy. 11 Live Teresa Bowles joins us live with the latest details. And Teresa, just moments ago, you spoke with a relative of that child. What did they have to say?
Well, the family said his name is Tobias Perkins Jr., and they can't understand why anybody would want to hurt him. Here's what we know right now. Last Wednesday, police were called to a fire station on Lee Street Southwest about a 6-year-old that was unresponsive. The family said Perkins was later pronounced dead at the fire station. Tonight, after an investigation, police say 24-year-old Deshaun Jones was arrested, and right now he's facing murder and cruelty to children charges. I spoke to Perkins' cousin, minutes ago. He said Perkins was happy, energetic, and full of life. He shares how the family is feeling.
Devastated. This sudden tragedy hit our family, and 2 years ago I lost my mom, which was his sister, my uncle's sister, and now he's having to face another tragedy by losing his son that's named after him.
We're still working to learn the relationship between the suspect and this 6-year-old.
Now Heather Warren showing what led to a man's arrest following the death of a 6-year-old little boy.
Those warrants show Atlanta police are accusing the man of beating the child to death. 11 Alive's Molly Oak is filling in the blanks of what led to this child's body being left at a fire station last week, Molly.
Yeah, and guys, this is the fire station where that child was dropped off late Tuesday night. Now, the arrest warrants that we got our hands on early this morning give us more of a timeline, filling in what happened between now and then. A 6-year-old babysat by his mother's boyfriend was inside this home on Sparks Street on March 19th. That's according to arrest warrants, which say Deshaun Jones was babysitting the mom's 5 kids. In the arrest warrants, Atlanta police say one of the children told police that she heard loud banging coming from a room where Jones and the child, Tobias Perkins Jr., were in the Fulton County home. Warrants say Perkins' grandfather found him unresponsive and took the 6-year-old to this fire station about a half a mile away. APD says the 6-year-old was pronounced dead at the hospital. Arrest warrants say Jones is now charged with murder because he hit the child multiple times, causing internal bleeding and death. Jones is also charged with cruelty to children, which is a felony. Over the weekend, the child's family told 11 Alive Tobias was full of life, calling this a sudden tragedy that took away their caring, sweet, happy boy.
Videos like this are how the family of Tobias Perkins Jr. are going to remember him.
He was just a joyful baby, like to play. He loved his trucks. He loved his sisters. He loved me.
That's Tobias Perkins Sr. He didn't want to appear on camera, but says the murder of his son is unfathomable.
It's the worst feeling any father can ask for, and I don't wish this on nobody. He had so much potential and the biggest smile in the world, and what happened to him, he didn't deserve none of that.
Perkins Sr. says he wants justice for his son.
I just can't believe he gone. Like, I'm still going through it.
Yeah, so as y'all heard the news say, this 4PF Day dude was apparently the boyfriend of the mother of this kid that he ended up assaulting and ultimately killing. And that's disgusting. I ain't gonna lie. Hearing stuff like that really made me pretty mad. Like, I just know for a fact they in jail right now laying the beat down on this dude. But at the same time I'm hearing this story, I'm also thinking to myself, like, how much blame lays on the parents for this, or at least the mom for this? Because according to the news report, she left this kid and her 4 other kids along with this dude at her house so he could babysit them. And like, look, I know times be hard, right? Daycare is expensive. Sometimes you don't want to drop the kids off with grandma. Life do be like that sometimes. But I can't for the life of me figure out why you women are hell-bent on dating these gangbangers. And then on top of that, you leave your kids at home with a gangbanger like he a babysitter. And it's a horrible situation. Again, I ain't trying to put all the blame on the mom or nothing like that, but I'm saying at some point you gotta wake up, you gotta realize if you are actively dating gang members, you are actively leaving your kids at home with these gang members, you are putting your kids in harm's way. These not your normal everyday type of people. These people not waking up and going to work. These people waking up trying to destroy the community. So let me tell you what I think happened. The news don't be wanting to speculate. They be like, oh, the police ain't said what happened. The police did the police. Man, y'all know what happened, bro. You got this chick who obviously got bad taste in men. She want the street dude. She want the hood dude. She want the realest one in the gang, right? But at the same time, y'all know how the women are. She probably still want to go work a real job. She want to go have a real normal life, but she want to come home to the street. So she probably done left the kid at home with her boyfriend. This ain't even her baby daddy. This ain't even the kid's father. This is just her boyfriend. She done left the kids at home with her boyfriend. Bro, we're probably sitting on the couch, rolling up some smoke, playing the video game. The kid probably getting on his nerves. He probably done snapped and lost his temper, because y'all know how them street dudes be. We talking about the most emotional people on the planet. Bro done snapped and lost his temper and disciplined this kid to the point that it killed him. And look, I'm not taking Day-Day's side. Lock Day-Day up. Throw Day-Day away, right? But I'm saying as mothers, y'all got to start looking at who y'all leaving y'all's kids with. Like, you can't just leave your kids with the average street dude and expect him to take care of your kids. He could barely take care of himself. Now, there was also an article associated with this whole thing where they gave a couple of more details, not much, but it basically said that police stated in the warrants, these are the warrants that they used to arrest Day-Day. Police stated in the warrants that Jones was reportedly babysitting his girlfriend's 5 children for hours while she attended to a family matter at her home on Spark Streets. Tobias was one of her kids, obviously. Tobias's older sister told police that she heard loud banging coming from the room where only Tobias and Jones were. She then stated that she allegedly saw Jones carry a limp Tobias to the bathroom and placed him in the tub. So bro lost his temper on this kid, punched him out, and instead of calling to get some help, instead of calling the mom, instead of calling anybody, bro just drag him out the room and then go place him in the bathtub. That's sad as hell. Anyways, it goes on to say that Tobias's grandfather is actually the one that took him to the fire department. It says warrant stated that Tobias's grandfather reportedly rushed the child to the fire station. The child was then taken to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. Authorities said an autopsy showed multiple blunt force injuries to his head and abdomen. Tobias's liver was severely damaged, causing internal bleeding. And the medical examiner told police that Tobias would have been down within minutes of the injury to his liver. So again, it wasn't even this Day-Day dude who went and got the kid help. He punched this kid out, puts him in the bathtub, doesn't call for help, waits on somebody else, Tobias's grandfather, to actually come over, load him up, and take him over to the fire station. Now, this is some trifling ass behavior, I ain't gonna lie. Because if instead of putting him in the bathtub, he would have loaded him up and took him to the hospital, he may have been able to save this kid's life. But nah, he was probably scared. Because you know these gang members, they be scared in real life. He was probably scared this done happen. He don't want to go to jail. He don't want to deal with the consequences. So he just lay him in the bathtub. And it's probably because of that why it ended up ending this kid's life, which is a tragedy in and of itself. But yeah, that's pretty much all the information on that. So Day-Day is currently locked up. He just got arrested, I think, yesterday on this charge. So he's currently locked up for this. We got Dirty Tay, who's locked up for a similar crime to this. And again, my only question is, what the hell is going on in 4PF? Like, once, okay, it could have been an accident. Twice, you pushing the limit. If this happened again, I gotta really question what they doing over there at 4PF, because this ain't normal behavior. The things that these dudes and this crew doing is not normal at all. And personally, out of all of the gangs and the stories I've covered, this gotta be one of the worst, because these members just continuously commit crimes against kids, which I feel like are the most heinous crimes you could commit, right? But anyways, that's basically the story. It's been a bad week for Lil Baby. Everybody in his crew keep getting arrested, keep getting convicted of these type of crimes, and it's not looking good. But like I said, that's pretty much it for the story. Y'all gotta let me know what y'all think about it in the comments below. If you enjoyed the content, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, tap the notification bell so you get notified every time I upload a video. As always, it's been fun rocking with y'all, man. I'm out.